Governor Walz officially no longer a gubernatorial candidate, announcing today he is ending his historic bid for a third term.
This move comes amid growing pressure on Walz, with Minnesota in the national spotlight because of growing fraud allegations within state programs. We have team coverage of this political shakeup, beginning with Danny Spiewak, who covered the governor's announcement this morning at the Capitol. Danny?
Well, the governor acknowledged this morning, reading a statement to the press, that it was all the attention around the fraud issue in Minnesota that really has driven him from this race in November 2026, why he's not going to be seeking a third term later this year. He accused Republicans of weaponizing the issue for political gain, but his exit now opens the door for other prominent Democrats, such as Amy Klobuchar, the U.S. Senator, who is, according to sources, strongly considering a run.
I couldn't be prouder to be on this ticket.
A little more than a year ago, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was on the cusp of becoming the nation's vice president. But on Monday,
Well, good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year.
the governor announced he will drop his re-election bid in November and leave office at the end of this term.
2026 is an election year. Election years have a way of ramping up the politics at a time when we simply can't afford more of that in Minnesota.
Walz launched his campaign for a third term back in September. But since then, his administration's response to fraud has been put under a national microscope. While Carol Evan has been reporting on fraud involving Medicaid and other programs for years, President Trump amplified the issue in late November when he began referencing fraud committed by defendants of Somali heritage in his attacks on the broader Somali American community in Minnesota.
We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
For weeks, fraud in Minnesota has dominated headlines, accelerated even further by a conservative influencer's viral video about Minnesota daycare sites, posted shortly before the new year.
My administration has been taking fast, decisive action to solve this crisis. We'll win the fight against the fraudsters. But the political gamesmanship we're seeing from Republicans is only making that fight harder.
Walz gave very little insight into how he arrived at this decision or whether he consulted with any allies.
I'm passing on this race with zero sadness and zero regret. I did not run for this job to have the job. I ran for the job to do the job.
Walz left the podium without answering questions from the press, saying we would have to wait until Tuesday.
And at that time, I'll take all your questions. Thank you all.
Thank you, press. Stay back tomorrow. Thanks, folks. I'll have more tomorrow. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So now it really is all eyes on Senator Amy Klobuchar. She did post on social media today praising Governor Walz's record of public service, saying that she knew his decision not to seek re-election was a difficult one, but she did not confirm anything about whether she does plan to run for governor later this year or not. Back to you.
Just another stunning development to go from a vice presidential candidate to bowing out of this race. Just another stunning development in politics in Minnesota, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the other side of the aisle, a crowded field of candidates seeking the GOP nomination. Among them, House Speaker Lisa Demuth, State Representative Kristen Robbins, former legislator and 2022 nominee Scott Jensen, businessman Kendall Qualls, and attorney Chris Maddell, and MyPillow founder Mike Lindell. Lou Raguse continues to